Ryan, we still have the clouds out there, but I noticed you squinting a little bit in the sun, trying to peek through.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I feel like the disk of the sun is almost visible at times, but the clouds haven't totally broken apart.
Yeah.
I better not let you guys down on tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, we're holding you to it.
I've been hyping it up all day. Tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, if you consider like Friday after work as part of the weekend, it's probably going to be the nicest part of the weekend. I think tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening will be quite nice. Then on Saturday, things change a little bit. The wind turns back onshore, and that will mean a lot of clouds at the coastline, maybe even a little mist and drizzle in spots. Farther inland, I do think part of the day on Saturday, you'll have at least some sun before the clouds arrive. And then on Sunday, it's wet with 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain on the way. There could be some isolated amounts up around an inch with elevation, especially to the north. Out there right now, most of the state is dry. We have this line of showers moving into the Allagash and up around the international border. And we're watching in here for showers and thunderstorms that are starting to develop. It's really warm back in here. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s. That's why these showers are starting to pop. And they'll slide east this evening, but they move into this much cooler air. So they'll lose a lot of their punch, but it will mean some downpours later on tonight. Big spread in temperature, pretty much matching the water here from Rockland through down East Maine. 50s through most of the rest of the state. In Berlin, New Hampshire, with a little sun, up to 70 right now. So hour by hour, most of the next couple of hours are dry. You may catch a stray shower, but most of the rain stays up over northern Maine. Later this evening, 9, 10 o'clock, downpours, possibly a rumble of thunder coming through if any of those cells to the west can hold together. But again, a lot of them will lose their punch as they move into this cooler air. Tomorrow morning, we may start the day with a little fog, low cloudiness again, mist and drizzle, especially early in the day. But from north to south tomorrow, drier air starts to move in. So while it's gray for much of the morning, it starts to turn nice first up north, and that nicer weather slides south through the afternoon. The last place to see clearing tomorrow, ironically, will be the place where we've seen the most sun this week, and that would be southern York County. It may take until late afternoon to get the sun out there, but I think we all have a pretty sweet end to the day tomorrow. And as long as we get that sun out, 60s are on the table tomorrow afternoon too. Now, I mentioned on Saturday the wind changes direction, a broad flow out of the east, and that's a signal for clouds, especially near the coastline. Low clouds, some fog banks too may linger offshore. Inland, there should be some partial sunshine followed by increasing clouds through the afternoon. So the warmest weather on Saturday will be away from the ocean. Then on Sunday, this pretty impressive front approaches from the west. We'll start the day with clouds, some drizzle and a few showers, but the rain gets steadier late morning into the afternoon, and we may wrap some snow around on this thing up in the mountains. Most often the computer models overdo a change to snow like this, but the air coming in on the backside is pretty chilly, so I think at least some wet flakes and maybe even some accumulation with elevation. So there you see it's about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain, with maybe up to an inch up over the far north. And here's a look at the snowfall potential. Again, up in elevation and maybe even some of the valley floors like Rangeley and Greenville, you can pick up an inch or two of wet snow as that slides through Sunday evening. Out on the water tomorrow, seas around 2 feet with a variable wind about 5 knots. So there you see it on the 7-day. Tomorrow afternoon looking nice, and inland areas make a run into the upper 60s as long as we get the sun out by about noon. Saturday, you'll notice there is a difference between the inland forecast and the coastal one. I think along the coast there will be a lot more clouds on Saturday and maybe even a little late day drizzle. Wet for Sunday, chilly early next week. Highs only in the 40s Monday and Tuesday. So shows the cold coming in has some punch, and that's why we may get a little snow up in the mountains too.
Okay. Yeah. We'll be ready for it.
Yeah.
Ryan, thank you.
You're welcome.